Hello everybody, welcome to another daily dose of gaming news and all that good stuff. And as always, also published on Rumble. There we're still catching up with XCOM 2 because of the re-upload stuff. And yeah, XCOM 2, the season is over. Yeah, I got embroiled there with some unskippable, let's say, to save the game and wrap up the episode. And it went to a series of stuff that, yeah, it basically went to a game over. As I mentioned in that episode, I will bring up season 2. Not sure when, as I've been mentioning throughout this year. I need to catch up with a lot of games. But I wanted to. One of the first ones that I wanted to bring was XCOM 2 because I like this game a lot. I think I will. I didn't thought at the time when I was recording, but I think I got XCOM Chimera Squad. I might do a gameplay on that one before doing a season 2 to XCOM 2 modded. And again, I need to really check regarding mods if there is a way to tweak some of the mods there. There are certain things I think could be a little bit at least more balance. I'm not a huge expert in XCOM, but I really kind of enjoy the formula. But there's some stuff there. Yeah, you might heard me complain per se, that I find a little bit unfair regarding some pod stuff, and also the when we are ambushed in some missions. I think we should be able to get around in escaping with more survival rate there. But yeah, still, I enjoy the game. I will bring a season 2, I think still throughout this year. But yeah, I got a lot of games to run through. And at least now I get the slot for to introduce Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order, which will coming to tomorrow, if everything goes right. I did a more test there regarding the recording stuff, the audio levels, if like the subtitles are kind of a decent size and all that jazz. At least for me, the audio level seems pretty good now. And also I'm just going to tweak some stuff regarding smoothness of the recording, because I managed to get around getting everything like epic level kind of visual fidelity there, but I think I want to clamp down a little bit more on the frame rate there, because I'm going to record 4K 60, so I think I can clamp down a little bit more. And because I think the game suffers still a little bit here and there, at least when I tried out a little bit, how do they call it, transversal stuttering here and there on the loading end of the game. But yeah, I will try to smooth out before I do a full recording of the first episode there. And today again will come out another Prey. We are getting we are chugging along with the freaking mimics and phantoms. But yeah, then I will shoot now, because I was not counting, kind of wrapping up XCOM 2 this soon. I will introduce another series. I'm not sure if I'm going to do one of those, Dead Space or Resident Evil. I'm not sure if it fits. We might do some Dead Space remake. I'm not sure yet. Well, we'll have to see how the scheduling goes for me in terms of recording the episodes for free simultaneously, episodes series there. But yeah, I will probably introduce throughout the next week another one. I will see how it goes in terms of scheduling that. January has been kind of low down on the work front, so I think I can manage to introduce something here. Yeah, because I also want to do Tomb Raider. We got the Resident Evil to replay here. Yeah, we got a lot of games. I mentioned some of them already in the channel update. By the end of this month, I should do another one. Maybe I will give a list of games that I have at this moment in time in my libraries, spread out for Steam, Epic Game Store. I managed to to claim that Marvels of the Galaxy, it's a recent game. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff that I have even in GOG. Between these three platforms, I managed to get around and accumulate some good quality games that I'm really hope. Plus, of course, Elden Ring for live streams, but that is another huge task that I have to get around and see if I can manage to do some. I want to at least reach NG Plus before the Shadow of the Earth 3 comes out. But yeah, a lot of stuff happening. But I will give you a more throughout update maybe by the end of this month. But yeah, in the meantime, I will update you just the introduction of a new gameplay series. I'm thinking about which game I should bring here. But yeah, that's it for the channel here. Still got some interesting stuff that came out in CES this year. I think that the show already wrapped up. I saw a lot of articles with the best of CES, so I assume it's already wrapped up. But still, I saw some stuff that I kind of found it interesting. Mainly, I will get around again to Frore, which is the guys from AirChat Mini. It's kind of the only article basically that I saw with like a more official presentation with some more specs here on the thing here on this little product here, which seems to work like a miracle. They had the one that I think it's the one that they showed like 2 years ago. With huge capabilities, and they managed to get around, and this is the one that we are seeing throughout the CES in some products there in terms for cooling solutions like SSDs and NVMEs also. And I think that they had plans, I don't know when, in terms of timelines, to bring for, as I said, to nukes and laptops. Even to cool some CPUs and probably some GPUs, because this is stackable, so you're not dependent on just one module. I think they can even reduce the size of some modules. If not mistaken, but at least as it is at this moment in time, they can just put more through a heatsink. They can glue a lot of them in the heatsink if needed be. To cool components, which is a very interesting technology there. But yeah, this is the AirChat Mini Slim, which is the slim down version, which is pretty interesting, and they are calling themselves semi-seriously Frore's Law, because they are committing of doubling the company's cooling performance every 2 years, give or take, which is similar to Moore's Law in terms of performance, like doubling every 2 years kind of a thing there, while leaving the Z height the same. The Z height being, where I can't, no, there is no picture here. The Z height is like the height of the product here in the Z axis. At this moment in time, the AirChat Mini Slim can generate, I don't know, these measurements, 70-50 pascals of air pressure. I don't know really in terms of, I think it's quite a bit at just 21 decibels of noise, and they managed to slim down from the original one to this mini jet like 0.3 millimeters, which at this scale it's pretty impressive. And of course the weight is reduced by to just 8 grams. I'm not sure how much it weighed, the other one. I think 10 grams or 11 grams, something like that. So they are basically managing to at this moment in time, I think they are perfecting both sides, which is the size, so trying to diminish the size and increase a little bit the performance there. But yeah, I'm not sure in terms of they have like proposal of being acquired or something like that, but from the products that are the partnerships that are being developed throughout this time, since the first time I saw this, I think they don't want to be acquired by anybody, which is good to a certain degree, but I think partnerships will go a long way for them, at least at this moment in time. But yeah, it's very interesting. The cooling capabilities, it's basically for at this moment 5.25 watts, which is kind of in that range of the SSDs and NVMEs, this kind of cooling capability, some like lower chips. But because this is stackable, they can introduce like a little bit heatsink if needed be, or in terms of area surface, and they can stackable, so it will double the in terms of cooling capabilities there. Which that's why, for example, in some nukes to a certain degree, and even like laptops, like lower CPU voltage kind of a thing there, like some APUs that run about even like Steam decks and those kind of handhelds. If they run in low power mode, I think it's doable. And because it's so small of footprint, instead of having like one huge fan occupying a lot of volume inside the thing, they can spread out that volume in a more and gain less thickness on the handheld per se, and have like 2 to 3 like stackable of these things to cool the things. I don't know if they can be like longer or can be adaptable here, but again, it's like very recent technology and it's doing pretty well. They're already doing some partnerships. We saw in the past days with the SSD RAID 0, they managed to cool down all the PCI 5 SSDs there. I think they are bringing to some handhelds here and there, like low powered modes, some like entry level nukes. From Zotac, I think they had a partnership regarding that. At this moment in time, I think they are looking for scalability in terms of volume delivery of volume delivery, so they can sell more products, so they can reinvest that in R&D and bring more variety of products. At least it seems to me that way. But yeah, I think this is going to be very interesting to follow up on this company and their technology here regarding the membrane cooling there. And of course, I didn't mention it has like a auto cleaning kind of a thing there, function, which is basically it can revert the airflow to clean the entry filters there. And plus, they don't have you don't need like extra sensors. It has its own sensor that can signal directly to the module that is controlling everything. Which is pretty good, so you don't need extra stuff to be built in. It's already everything is integrated there. Also, regarding we were talking about nukes, Intel wrap up the nuke stuff. I'm bringing this because of the interest that can be applied to from the Frore system there, the AirJet Mini. Of course, these ones now from ASUS, they just introducing like the high-end stuff, which is with this processor, ultra-core 9 1H processor, and also with the discrete RTX 40 laptop GPU, which is insane in just a small footprint. This is way too much for like the original intention of this kind of devices here. But yeah, in an original device, for example, for offices that don't need like higher processing power of like call centers, I suppose you don't need a lot of stuff, processing power to run some few applications here and there. I don't think they don't demand a lot of stuff, but yeah, I think the integration of this, as you can see, there is a large footprint in terms of dissipation of heat of these devices here, even though most of them are passive, and the fact that this AirJet Mini integrated here, just making 21 decibels, which is nothing in a working environment. But yeah, these nukes here seem pretty competent. Sorry, regarding performance. And yeah, there is a market for this, a very niche market. I'm not sure if I'm kind of interested one of these days trying out one of these. The only reason that I can see for this to use something like this is more as a streaming recording device kind of a thing there, where you plug in the HDMI and then the capture software, usually the more suitable ones have to be like an hardware, so this is not going to service very well. But I don't know, even something like this to just watching videos, stuff like that, also it's like an overkill. That's why the original intent performs like a multimedia kind of a thing there, I think, with some capabilities of playing some games here and there. But yeah, ASUS is continuing the tradition with the NUC stuff. They introduced these two new ones, the 14 Pro and the 14 Pro Plus or something like that. I'm not sure about the names. Yeah, Enthusiast and Extreme series. But yeah, they are very powerful for the size that they present themselves. So it's like a very sneaky way of putting some very good components there. But yeah, always interesting to see about this, because the miniaturization of technologies, we can almost interpolate this into laptops to a certain degree. But yeah, it is what it is. I'm not very keen at this moment in time, unless they have, for example, like a capture card there, where I can just put some storage there. I don't know, in terms of capabilities, I have to explore something like this. So, seems interesting, let's say. Continue with CES, we got Cooler Master, more Cooler Master stuff. We got this interesting thing, a prototype for a GPU cooler, like an aftermarket. From what I understand, it's... I'm not sure if it is to replace this shroud here. I suppose it is. But still, the fact that you... it seems... this is a very early prototype stuff here. I'm not sure if it is to replace this fan cooler from the original AIB cards, because the fact that it has to be universal, there is a lot of stuff that has to be taken into consideration. I'm not sure if this shroud is going to be placed over the cooling system, or is to replace this part of the cooling system, because then you have heat sinks and everything around. I assume it's going to replace this. Suppose it's universal, can be at least they aiming to be compatible with the RTX 4090, which is interesting enough. But for smaller GPUs, I don't know. I don't know. Depending on the price of this, I don't know if it is if it compensates having something like this in a cheaper GPU. But yeah, it's still interesting, and the fact that it's very sleek, very simple design, not a lot of this shenanigans here happening here, seems pretty interesting. And the fact that they are going to integrate with Mobius fans there, 120 millimeter fans, seems interesting enough for me. Got also here SSD coolers. This is passive coolers, again with the AirJet Mini. It will surpass this, because you can see the height. The AirJet Mini, it's way have less height in this, and it's an active cooling system solution there. These are passives, and I think it keeps better the temperatures in check, especially in consistent loads. Usually the passive ones are good for like peak activity, because if it continues as a sustained load there, the SSDs, I don't think these passive cooling systems have a way of cooling down and not throttling the drives there. And also they are introducing an AIO liquid coolers. Again, this is not my jam. This water and electronics for me usually as a principle don't work very well. And again, in terms of cooling solutions, when you introduce even a closed loop system, it has more points of failure that the system can fail, which is usually not good. The more simpler the better. While for example, even if the pump goes out, or even the fan of air cool system, usually the heat sinks of the air cool system are usually can handle more heat dissipation before you have to shut down the system than a small like this heat sink here, which is usually the heat sink is right here, so you can transfer the heat there. But yeah, it's really not something that I really enjoy, even though I can recognize that the technology advanced way above where it was like 10 years ago when they start to experimenting with this kind of things. I kind of enjoyed, already spoke about this one, I kind of enjoyed the how they went about it in terms of design language here. But yeah, we'll see how it goes. Again, more air liquid cooling stuff. got the radiators. I don't understand very well how this works. I know there are reservoirs and all this stuff. Seems to be like 90-degree curves for the pipes, I think, or something like that. I'm not sure. But yeah, everybody is introducing their own kind of platform there in terms of cooling solutions from these manufacturers. It's always interesting to see how things are going. And yeah, lastly, we got some information regarding Fluid Motion Frames, which is basically frame generation from Radeon or AMD. It's going to officially launch finally on January 24th, and there will be no more preview drivers. So it will be integrated on the 24th with Adrenaline from AMD. Of course, I will update that, but I'm not sure if I'm going to take any kind of advantage here. Fortunately, I have a 7900 XTX. I don't see huge amounts of even if I didn't have the means to, I don't see a lot of upsides using this, except in very specific situations. Mainly because, again, it can you can see as a frames, you can see the double frames, or it seems more fluid, but it doesn't usually feel fluid because of the lag that is introduced on the system, plus the fact that your the input systems are at the original frame rate. So if you're playing at 60 frames per second, the input lag and it's at 60 frames per second, but if you just, by the fact that you're increasing 120 frames, you are watching 120, you're just having the same input lag that a 60 frame gameplay there. So I don't know. But yeah, the interesting fact is this is any kind of GPU can handle this, basically, because it's driver related. It doesn't need to be implemented on the application, or in this case games, which is pretty decent. And I think that there's been already a lot of mods to introduce this as for even NVIDIA GPUs that cannot handle, they're not supported, so not for this series. In terms of this one, the official support is it will include 700M for laptops, and also for desktops until at least the RX 6000 series, but there is no support for 600M, which is the previous generation in terms of mobile, at least not officially yet. But yeah, it is what it is. I don't see myself using this unless I don't know. If I will use it, I will let you know, but it's not something that I'm very eager. But I know a lot of people will benefit from this, so I think in overall, hopefully it's a good thing here. But yeah, regarding hardware news and such, it's everything that I have for today. But I got some gaming news here. So supposedly Suicide Squad killed Justice League Alpha. Yeah, it doesn't seem pretty good. I still have to check some videos of overall reception of this. They basically lifted the NDA from the early fan impressions, because there are some journalists, some articles here and there that saying that yeah, the game is not good in the sense as a game as service is not pretty good. The mechanics there, the combat seems pretty bland. I think in terms of what people tend to agree altogether is similarly the narrative, so the story seems pretty good, the interaction between the characters seems pretty good. Again, this is Rocksteady, usually it's what their strong points are there, it's narrative and character interactions and all that stuff. And yeah, they are really not specialists on implementing game as a service there, because it's single player driven, narrative driven games that they are very well known for. So yeah, that's the main complaint here. In terms, basically it's combat gameplay, like the loop gameplay of that, and the microtransaction stuff, which is games as a service elements. I think that's the main thing that it's kind of dividing, but the fact that you like the game in certain aspect doesn't mean you have to like the game in all aspects. And I think yeah, a lot of, let's say, fanboys, people are just going around and just because it is something that the company launches is always 100% good. Again, it's never like that. Even in companies that I favor more than others, I know that not everything is 100% good. But yeah, I think that the main thing is the game has service elements, plus the combat is it's not good from what I understood. But yeah, people are saying the impressions are mixed. Well, again, depend on who do you ask. Got some teasers here and there, some stuff that people supposedly are discovering, which is the next Indiana Jones games from Machine Game Studios, sorry. The title might be discovered, which is probably the Great Circle or something related to that, mainly because like 2022, July 2022, Lucasfilm filed a trademark for the Great Circle, and recently there's been some domain registers with variations of Indiana Jones and the Great Circle. That's why putting one and one together, plus the fact that we have, I think this is from the teaser, if not mistaken, we got like ancient circles, a lot of circle related thing here. We might speculate what it is, but yeah, the Great Circle can be a lot of stuff. I don't know, there's so many things that can be interpreted as a circle, but yeah, hopefully it's a good game. That's what I hope for. Regarding if it's circles, squares, or octagons, I don't care as long as it's a good game. I really do enjoy the Indiana Jones trilogy as it is, because the other two are fan fictions. They are not real per se. They're not canon. But yeah, hopefully the game is good. Got an article here from Faxter Life. Rebel Wolves. I think I covered this studio when it came out, or were about to come up, or there is a lot of independent studios, especially from guys that from Polish studios, especially from oh my god, CD Projekt Red. This one in specifically, Rebel Wolves, I think I already heard the name out there somewhere, that they were doing something here. They are basically, this one is interesting. They work in Cyberpunk and The Witcher 3, of course, and the head of the studio is I'm not going to butcher his name, which was the director for The Witcher 3. Okay, this highlight thing sometimes misses a little bit here, the white stuff. Yeah, he was the director for The Witcher 3 before leaving CD Projekt Red in 2021. And he, at the time, he also recruited the former quest designer for Cyberpunk 2027, so I pedigree there. He also worked on the Frontbreaker, The Witcher Trails, Witcher 10. But yeah, a lot of people, this is like the highlights, not only two people on the studio, of course. The guy is teasing to aim the studio to evolve classic RPG genre with a blend of forgettable story and stirring deep emotions. Is also working as a creative director for that game that they are developing there. Of course, it's still very kind of alpha stage, so I assume pre-production. So I don't know, concept arts and all that jazz. But they are planning to reveal more stuff later this year, which is always good, so people can keep up with the projects there. They are being recruited. At least last year they recruited, or still are recruiting. Isn't clear here. Combat designer, gameplay designer, gameplay programmer, tools programmer. This is for Unreal Engine 5 game, so with open world elements on the listings there, so it can give you kind of an idea what they are aiming for. Plus more studios here. Some of them, again, they are based in Poland, if not mistaken. The Fool's Theory, I think this one I covered for sure, because they are developing the narrative-driven RPG, the Thaumaturge. It's coming out now in February, and they are collaborating with the Witcher 1 remake with CD Projekt Red. And Dark Passage is another studio currently working. This is like online action game. Again, online action. When it comes with online, it's not for me usually. Studio Archetype Entertainment also is working with people that work on Dragon Age, Origins, and Mass Effect, working on a sci-fi RPG, Exodus, which was revealed in TGA 2023. Again, with a lot of stuff happened in TGA. I don't remember exactly the Exodus. I think it was like a teaser trailer. I don't remember seeing very specific stuff. Maybe I'm wrong. My memory is not the best thing regarding stuff that comes by. But yeah, again, seems that there are pretty good games that we need to keep our eyes on. They are coming throughout these few years that are coming out. And lastly, we got Sandland, official launch date April 25 in Japan, worldwide April 26. We got a little trailer with some story teases there. Again, I'm very interested in see what this game is all about. Again, it's open world exploration, a lot of it. I think that one of the main focus of the things is vehicle combat, especially from the trailers we'll be seeing and the different type of vehicles they are being showing off. Seems that vehicle combat is one of the main things, not only to traverse the world itself, but as a combat tool, which is interesting. You've got the kind of similar Bulma. I think it's Bulma. I think it's the English one. This in Portuguese, she was called Bulma, like the engineer, mechanical girl there that knows all about the vehicles there. Very interesting. This guy has a dark story here. Again, I never watched the manga or anything like that, so he's got a dark past here. He wants to redeem itself for sure, and with the help of the demon here, I don't know the name of the character. I'm so sorry. You've got the driver here. Yeah, seems pretty interesting how they went about it. The fact that it's like cel-shaded and everything to try to copycat the manga kind of flavor there. Very interesting. But yeah, this is what I got for today. Just going to wrap up with some gaming deals. Again, XCOM 2, 90% off the base game. Again, here, yeah, similarly, War of the Chosen is also 90% off from what I can gather. With the War of the Chosen, I think you got a really good experience here. But then again, we got this reinforcement pack is too expensive for what it is. I think this one, no, not available. I don't know. War of the Chosen, I think if you buy War of the Chosen, it already brings Shan's last gift because something with quest related stuff. And I think also Alien Hunters is there. But at least War of the Chosen is the big expansion that they introduced there. So I think it's for, let's say, $10. I think it's still a very good game to play at this moment in time. We got Firewatch again, 90% off. Very narrative-driven base game. Yeah, very interesting. Again, not very long, but it's very narrative-driven. I think the story and the mysteries that you will be uncovering seems pretty interesting. We got also Cocoon. It's 30% off until the 18th of January. Again, one I don't know, puzzle game of the year from TGA, but yeah, it's very good. It's puzzling and yeah, I'm just watching the thing. It's captivating, just the process of worlds inside worlds and how you go about. Because each world has its own peculiar things there that will help you out with the puzzle stuff. And on GOG we got Warworld. Again, already played this game with the Deep Threat DLC. It's not the most... it still takes its time because it has some RNG involved there in terms of discovering some stuff to unlock everything, and in terms of evolving story that you don't need to discover everything, but yeah, it's always interesting to go about between the exploration, the mining, tower defense aspect of the game, and then the Deep Threat expands a little bit more there, and you can fight other spiders. Yeah, I think it's pretty good. On GOG you got XCOM Chimera Squad, which is one that I think I already have on Steam. It's not a very long game, but they do some tweaks here and there. In terms of the squad there, you got some aliens on your squad with their own abilities, which is always interesting to see how they're going about it. And I don't know regarding mods how it does. I will have to check when I introduce this one. But yeah, basically this is it for today, guys. I'm just going to wrap up with a plug on my Patreon for ASUS support, and that ASUS support will be for storage for me to have possibilities to have backups of the stuff that I do for my clients, and of course some extra space for the videos that I do for the channel. And yeah, basically this is it, guys. I hope you have a wonderful day, and I'll see you in the next one. So until then, Kunamy Master out.